Hi guys. So this week I read chapters 15 and chapter 16. So first chapter 15 was developing fraction operations. I kind of picked these two chapters, especially 15, because fractions weren't my favorite thing to learn, and they're definitely not my favorite thing to teach. So I thought that it could be beneficial to learn some things that maybe I haven't thought of before. So the first thing that really stuck out to me in chapter 15 was on page 383, and it asked the question, are common denominators required? And they said no. And there was a video with a kid going through multiple strategies of solving without using a common denominator. And the reason why it stuck out to me is because it proved that it's important for us to teach students a lot of different strategies and encourage reasoning rather than just shoving one solution to a problem down their throat, letting them explore, letting them figure out what way to solve a problem works best in their mind. I know, like when I was in elementary school, we would learn one way how to solve a problem, and that was it. And if we didn't do the exact steps, the exact way that the teacher taught us, then we were wrong. And so I kind of like how we're evolving to this place where we give students all the materials that they need to be successful, and then they're able to pick the ones themselves that are going to make them successful. So I know for me, I couldn't add or subtract without a common denominator. So just reading through that chapter was really, really interesting and enlightening for me. The next chapter that I read, like I said, was chapter 16, which is developing decimal and percent concepts and decimal computation. Kind of the same concept, not my strong suit in math, especially teaching wise. And it kind of went along with the fractions chapter. So a couple of things that stood out to me whenever you're beginning to teach decimals and percents. The first one was that you should review the place value system, which I agree. I think that's really important. So obviously we all know ones, tens, hundreds, but then going on the opposite side of that and going over tenths and hundredths and just showing the students how it looks visually, and hopefully that helps them be able to understand the concept a little better. I know I've seen in the classroom a place value chart. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's like flaps on each side and there's a decimal point. And I saw it while student teaching and I was like, wow, this is even a good visual for me. So keeping that in mind and maybe finding that for your classroom if that's what the grade that you teach. I thought that was very helpful. The other thing that I found helpful, like a helpful reminder, was on page 409, and it said to make sure that we're saying decimals and fractions correctly. I student taught in second grade, and I always remember when I was in elementary school that the teachers would bug us and say, it's not 110, it's 110. And I was like, why is that important? I don't understand it. And then reading this chapter, it clicked in my mind that, oh, the reason why we do that is because whenever you say decimals, it's 1 and 6/10 or whatever. So you say the and for the decimal place. So that reminder was nice for me. It's been a while since I've been in elementary school. And so that was just a good reminder for me on why we do the little things, especially in the earlier grades. So even if you're not teaching decimals and percentages, you can still set students up for success by using the correct lingo. So those were the things that stuck out to me. The additional resource that I found while kind of just searching through things was education.com, and it kind of rang a bell, but since I'm not in the classroom yet, I haven't really explored too much with it. So I started to explore, and there is a whole library full of solely fraction resources. So there's tons of resources in other subjects, but especially in the fractions resources, there's games, there's worksheets, there's all kinds of stuff, word problems, regular problems, like I said, games. There's just so much on there that I think even if you just need like a worksheet or something for students to do when they finish early, this can be a great resource. I'll attach the link in the discussion post, but I thought that that was really neat and could come in handy. So that is all I have. Thank you for listening.